Hey guys, it's Amber, and welcome to my December Daily 2019 days 24 and 25. So I'm going to apologize in advance. My voice sounds terrible. I've been fighting bronchitis for the past week, but I've had this video edited and ready to go for a while, and I just haven't been able to do the voiceover. And it's kind of a long one. So what you're going to see in the beginning here is me deciding where to put all the products. So the kids live with their mom most of the time, and this year, because of schedules and traveling and stuff, we really weren't sure when we were going to have them for Christmas, and we ended up opening presents with them on Christmas Eve day, and then they went back to their mom's that night. So I kind of struggled a little bit with my products because I was so excited to use stuff that said Christmas Day or Christmas Eve, but they kind of, for us, were the same day, and the 25th was extremely uneventful. My boyfriend and I were just home by ourselves. We had a super relaxing day. I didn't even take any pictures, so I didn't even use photos for that day. I did something else, which you'll see all the way at the end. But what you see right now is I'm just trying to decide what assortment of products to use. I really wanted to use that Authentic Santa pleather circle, but it was such a bright red, it just didn't really go with the rest of the layout. And the rest of the colors I was working with were a little bit darker. And I have that awesome Liz Tamanaha card that says, it's not what's under the tree that matters, but who, or something like that. And I was playing with those stars from the chipboard add-on kit that say Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. And you can see there I'm playing with the Merry Christmas card from Liz Tamanaha, but I realized I couldn't use it, even though I really liked the teal color, because I wanted to use that 3-inch cork Merry Christmas circle that was from the Advent calendar. So I also wanted to use this Santa transparency, and I actually went back later and added it, but in the beginning here, I had pulled it aside, wanted to use it. It just didn't look right because it was so see-through. You couldn't really see half of the design because it's white on white on white. And so later, I don't actually have it on video, but I will show you some photos of where I included it back in the album because I really wanted to use it, and I actually have 2 sets. So I didn't want to not use that Santa chipboard. I'm so sorry. So a lot of this beginning of the video is me just playing with product, and I thought people would kind of be interested to see kind of how I'm looking at things and what I'm considering doing. My original plan was to use the Christmas Eve and Christmas Day on the opposite sides of that Santa, but because we didn't really do Christmas on Christmas, and I had already done Christmas with my family early because of family visiting, it just kind of was different this year. So I just kept playing with putting it on that tree paper. And what I'm getting ready to do here is create a see-through front pocket. So I'm digging for a punch that is 3.5. I actually just recently picked this one up at, I think it's Joann's brand, actually. Because they had a really good coupon, and it was something that I was looking for a while, was a 3.5-inch punch. So what I'm doing is taking that Liz Tamanaha card that says, "May our days be sparkly and festive," and it's like a gold foil. And I'm cutting that out. I'm going to put that on a clear piece of graphics acetate from Amazon. And then on the other side is just going to simply have that Merry Christmas cork with a 1/4-inch border all the way around the outside. So I'm just cutting the clear acetate to a 4x6. And I actually did consider making this a flip up, but because I am putting this on a 12 by 8-inch transparency that's flipping out, page protector that's flipping out, the photo would have been on the wrong side. And I could have done it on the inside and included more photos, but I really didn't have many more 4x6s than I needed to include. I have a lot of 3x4s, and it's a multi-page layout. So just using my Dina K tape runner to attach it. And then I'm just lining it up to see how it's going to look. And normally I would use a tool to help me line this up, but it's pretty large, and I wanted to check it before I firmly pressed it down. And that one was pretty simple. So I'm just creasing that and just deciding where I'm going to be putting all of my embellishments, because there's several things I wanted to use. As you could see, I was just kind of moving from page to page, and I had that Christmas Eve chipboard from Liz Tamanaha. I had the star that said Christmas Eve. I had the star that said Christmas Day. I'm trying to decide where my number is going to go. I really wanted to use that Twinkle, Twinkle, Twinkle transparency, which my original plan was to actually use that for the day we decorated our tree, but then I made my own that said never enough twinkle lights. So it's just a matter of playing and playing and playing, putting things in so many different places until I can kind of try to find some balance. And I loved that ho 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 card, but the white on top of it just wasn't popping enough for me. And then I thought about using it on that photo because it is at the very beginning of the spread. But I had so much more room on the 6x8 photo of the tree, and it just seemed to make more sense as our Christmas. So in a moment here, you're going to see that I end up taking some red polka dot pattern paper that I've been using in little circles throughout the album, which I love for the consistency. And still trying to decide where I'm going to put that Authentic Santa. I end up swapping it out for the Blue Merry Bright one, but it was just too bright of a blue. And then I decided, since I could not make a decision, to consider what was going to go on the back of this flip out page protector. And I ended up using that card there, which was the 4x6 with the ornaments, and trimming it down. I could have used the 3x8 just as easily, but this one filled up more of the space, and I really liked the way that worked out. And then this was another design that Allie had actually shared on Instagram, and I printed it out, and it just says, "Have yourself a Merry Little Christmas," with that wreath that's been running through the design of this. And then I thought, oh, this will be perfect. I can use this as another circle. But the wreath pattern just is nowhere in this day 24 layout, and it just does not really go. Like, the photo of us, we're both wearing very dark colors. I was considering using that dark black card, and it just, as badly as I wanted to use it, it just did not work. So you can see I'm trying to make it fit somewhere, but it's just a little too large in the size I printed it, and just isn't vibing. And there I am, still trying to do like circles with circles and all the red accessories. And so you're going to see just a tiny bit more playing around before I decide to really change things up, since I could not get that black card to work. And the funny part is I end up using it, but I decided to switch it out and go for a little bit more punch of red to see if that maybe would help tie everything in together. Thought about making like a circle, bunch of circles on the bottom there, and then I realized it would be laying right next to that 4-inch Merry Christmas cork, which was too many circles all on the bottom. So then I started looking through my cards, and I have that Bring on the Merry, one of the gold foil cards from a few years ago, all the together for the holidays, which I really did like that dark red, but I end up not using. But it gives me a jumping off point to kind of start replaying with my embellishments again. And that, while it seemed great, was like a lot of white space on that red card on the left, and then the Christmas Eve is too small. I just really, really struggled for balance, and I wanted to play with this. So I pulled out the blue pleather circle, which actually really looked cute on top of that tree paper because there's a pop of blue in it. And then I end up deciding to play with the Liz Tamanaha card that says, "It's not what's under the tree that matters, it's who's gathered around it," and switching it to the black side because there's black in that tree paper, and we're obviously wearing a lot of black. And I did actually like the way that looked, but I end up not going that route. The blue was too bright of a blue. Okay, so I finally jumped ahead a little bit in the footage here, and I'm punching a 3-inch circle of that red dot pattern paper from Felicity Jane's from, I think, 2 years ago. And like I said, it's been running throughout the album, and this gave me a way to hide some of the background of the photo and also gave me a really nice focal point to put my number. But it wasn't, I needed it to be really wide so that the whole number would fit, but then there was a lot of space on the top and bottom. So I grabbed the chipboard strip word pack that was one of the add-ons, and I found one that said around the tree, and I really liked the way that looked. And the way I ended up using it was I actually push it all the way to the edge of the circle and cut it on the diagonal, and I'm really happy with the way that came out, because it was a little too stark having the square edge right at the edge of the round there. But it is something that I've done several times in the album, where I put that strip of chipboard under the number, and it really grounds it and gives it some consistency and just a cute little vibe. So I'm just tearing off all my layers of chipboard, getting that attached. Pardon me. And then getting my adhesive on there. Apologize, you're hearing my cat fussing in the background. He would like to be in here where he hears my voice. So just getting everything centered, making sure it's far over enough that I'm not going to cut off the number. And I think I do cut off a teeny tiny bit of the 24, but that's fine. And then I also was trying to figure out something to go across the top and sort of give it a little sparkle. And I end up putting on one of the gold puffy stars from the add-ons, which helps balance out some gold that'll be on the left-hand side of the layout that you can't see currently. Okay, so moving on to another part of the layout here. I had this awesome little card from Target that was like a 5x7 just greeting card of a tuxedo cat wearing a scarf, and I really wanted to include it in our album. It wasn't our Christmas card this year, but I use it for like giving gift cards and stuff in, but it's 5x7. So I printed an enlargement of a photo of the kids and their dad to 5x7, and I just got everything trimmed off to nice even edges because I had just used my scissors to like cut off the back portion of it, and was creating another piece of clear acetate for this to be mounted on. So what I did is I made it a 6x7 piece. Sorry, a 1.5x7 piece, so that I could punch holes in it and mount it kind of centered in front of the page protector that it'll be sitting on top of. I had found these amazing acetate pop-ins from Felicity Jane and can't find where I put them. I ordered 2 packs, and it was basically this concept of a clear, heavy piece of plastic with adhesive already on it, and I have no idea where I stashed them. I went through my entire December daily scrapbook area, even my non-December stuff, and I can't figure out where I put them. Luckily, it's something that's easily makeable by yourself and looks nice in the album because it's nice and clear and sturdy. I'm so sorry. So I'm just adding some adhesive, double-sided sticky tape from Gina K. It's her terrific tape all around the outside here, just for no chance of the photo coming up, from pages being turned. I actually really like the quality of this tape. It is super thin. The backing peels off really easily, and there seems to be a ton on a roll. So, really happy with that product, which I got from scrapbook.com. So I'm just getting my photo lined up, and I left a teeny little border because most of my photos in the album, of course, have white borders. So it's not really striking, but it's just enough to help it stay consistent. And here we are jumping ahead to the page that is behind that. I'm not sure what happened to some of the footage, but what I did is I have more pictures of the kids, and I have a filler card, another see-through hexagon piece that I cut from one of the 3-inch die cut add-ons, and a journaling card that I'm putting together here. So I apologize because I must have lost this footage or not been recording at the time. But you will see what the pages look like in a moment here, because I will show quite a few up-close shots of all the pages of how everything looks in the album. So I'm just finishing up my journaling, just saying how glad we had time to spend with the kids. Time with them has been different, but it's still fun to watch them enjoy presents, and they're not, too old for Christmas yet. So there is my beginning of the day 24 page with my transparency. And that's all about the kittens being the first one up because the kids slept in. And it also was a place for me to include a close-up of my cat Alex Lanny bracelets that were a gift for me this year. And then there's the beginning of the double page spread. And then the piece on the right is going to open up. I ended up going with that card there with the Christmas Eve circle. And then here is actually where I created the Santa transparency. I backed it in some paper because I was dying to use this red tree paper. I used a Felicity Jane pocket there and created a little tag. Here is a close-up of the opening of the fold-out, the inside of the fold-out, with some chipboard stars and pictures of the kids, the back of the fold-out, with an action shot of them wrapping. There's my 5x7 photo. I used a die cut of that ornament to help tie in the paper on the left. The back with a little tuxedo kitten. Using that tree piece of paper again with the blue and the blue hexagon. This says making memories so I could last a lifetime. So I was able to include some blues. And there's the back with some chipboard and some more punched paper. And then here I am jumping and diving into day 25. So I wanted to use that 6x8 picture of the 5 of us all throughout the album. And with the blue, it just didn't really match anything in the beginning. So I decided to use it for day 25. And I needed to be able to put something in front of it then. So I picked some of that Crate Paper Merry Days greenery paper that I have running all throughout the album. Put that Authentic Santa smack dab in the middle because I had been wanting to use it, but it was just so bright for the rest of the layout, so it went perfectly with the paper. Then when you flip it, it has the photo of all 5 of us. And then I used another pleather circle that was actually from the Allie Edwards Gratitude Story Kit. It says family, and it says Our Story Matters. And it was blue, and it matched perfectly with all the other pleather circles in this kit, but it went with this specific picture. So I was really happy to be able to use that. And then I took that Jasmine Jones Merry Christmas paper, and that is where I added my number 25. And I had a hard time deciding where to put it. It ends up going in the bottom right-hand corner, but I was trying to make it kind of go with the swirls, and it just needed some balance. So I had a difficult time just placing it. And as you can see there from the photo, I added a bunch of the gold puffy stars because it just needed a little sparkle and a little something. So I hope this gave you some inspiration. I really want to say thank you, and I appreciate you watching. And I hope that this, gives you some inspiration on what to do for a multi-page layout, because Christmas is a big day for us. And that's where I really like to feature a lot of pictures of the kids, posing for the camera, not looking at the camera, opening presents, all that. So thanks again for watching, and I'll see you for day 26. Bye.